Dr. Wood, author of the book Miracles Minutes, and it's a little bit of summary, a recap of yesterday. My Facebook live page, Joseph P. Wood. So yesterday I had Terry Cheney in, and you can see that she had all her life had some problems. We talked years ago. We set a clear, distinct goal. She had the goal. Her goal was to dance with Chippendale in a year, from a girl who was in a wheelchair, who couldn't do anything. In a year's time, she lost 100 pounds and was dancing. So miracles can happen for you. The problem most people have is they get tied up in their story. Let me tell you about what's wrong with me. Let me tell you about the diagnosis my doctor gave me. Let me tell you else what's wrong with me. And just, so I break your goddamn violin and throw it to the ground like John Belushi in Animal House. I don't want to hear your song anymore because your song sucks. Because it's not, it's you're living into the story, you're living into the narrative. And as human beings, we actually are characters in a story, and you're playing a part. So everything that she was doing at that point wasn't working, except causing more chaos and drama in her life. And, poor me as a victim. Remove the goddamn victim mentality and immediately get into becoming victorious. And victorious is, let's set a clear, concise goal. It has to do, you have to use 3 parts. What does it look like? Please start imagining, visualizing your goal, framed in the positive with language. Okay? If your goal is to be healthy, and I said, what does that mean? You go, when I want my back to hurt, you just can't get there. Because the commands that signals, like running computer code, like your brain's a computer, the language, your computer runs on language, zeros and ones, binary code, and this other code on top of it. If you start running a language pattern of not hurt, all the brain thinks of is hurt. It doesn't hear the word not. That's not clear and concise. And you can't get there by framing it in the antithesis. You have to frame it in what is. Another thing that has to occur for people to have miracles in life is you have to accept the reality of, this is the way it is. This is who I've been being. This is the way my life has been. And I am the one who's responsible for that. It's me. At responsibility or acceptance, the way your life is, without needing to judge it. So if you start judging yourself, then you don't want to take action. I'm such a bad person. that gets back into the victim. That gets back into the narrative. Like, look, enough with the theatrics, enough with the crying, enough with the bullshit. Let's go back to just a neutral position of, this is the way my life has been. I don't like the way it's been going, how it's been going. I'm open and willing for something new. Okay, so let's clean the garbage off and let the story go, because you need empty space. This is the way life has been. I don't really care for it. I want to try something new. So when you accept the way it's been, the way it's always been, and you're willing to try something new, now you're open to receive something new. Then we start the creative process. And you can see with Terry yesterday, got a little messy. Like, I want to be able to walk without pain. I'm like, time out. You already stepped into a hole because you told your brain to think about pain. Okay? So instead, the clear and concise would be, it's always framed in a positive. You start to use I got her using her imagination. I want you to imagine. I want you to see yourself. And then I want you to feel. Because feeling's the important part. When the seeing and the feeling and the language all meet, your 3 brains connect, and it's like GPS. GPS has 3 satellites. Boom, I can see you. Boom, I can feel you. Boom, I hear you. How do you verify reality? I can see it, I can hear it, and I can feel it. See, hear, feel. See, hear, feel. That's how you know you're here today. I can see it, I can hear it, I can feel it. So this is the 3 satellites the brain uses for goal direction to help you get to where you want to be in life. The language is where people mess up, and well, usually they mess up all three parts. So to create the miracle is like, what does it look like? What does it sound like? And I, as a doctor in the room, kind of am monitoring and listening into, what's the code you're getting ready to run on your computer called your brain, that you're going to send directives to your subconscious mind. And I have to look at the code, and if you code yourself your goal wrong, you'll actually create the opposite of what you're wanting. And then you get frustrated, and you're like, I just quit, I don't know. And then the cry comes in, like, all right, let's cry for a minute. Okay, now shut up. Okay, are you ready to try again? So we're going to recreate again the goal. And it's nothing wrong with you. It's just society. Everyone speaks in negatives. On the news today, these people were horrible. Like, this person's an asshole. And so, if we just keep focusing on assholes, we usually create more assholes in the world. Like, where are the good people in the world? Let's focus on them. What do they look like? What do their characteristics look like? How do they act? How do they behave? What kind of emotions do they exude? See, they don't show you the good people in the world. They show you the jackasses. And that's why we're producing more jackasses, because what you see is what you become a lot of times. Monkey see, monkey do. And humans aren't much different. So, whether a good therapist or a good doctor, any doctor or a coach or a parent or a teacher, everyone needs a goal. And it's not me telling, I don't tell my kids who they're supposed to be, and I didn't tell Terry who she's supposed to be. I let her own heartfelt emotions, what she wanted to create for herself, start to come up in the conversation for the goal creation process. Then I, as a doctor, a parent, or a person who cares about you, I support you in that. How can I support you in that? And that's what I do. I was supporting Terry in her goal as her friend, as her doctor, as someone who cares about her as a human being, and support her in her goal. And I just point out where I see her step off the road to where she wants to be. Like, reframe that, recontextualize in your language of give a more clear, concise code to your brain to run into your coding system so it can triangulate and then boom, put you on that path. And you'd be surprised if you clean up your language, or let people they don't have the emotion. You can see yesterday I had her I used words and you want to see accurately. And then I was talking and I said balance, and she's like, balance. And I saw her eyes woo, they got big. So that I knew that word was a word that resonated with Terry. So I said, let's put that, because that was a word that turned her on. Boom, boom. She's turned on because if she saw balance, she goes, yes, that's what I want. I want balance. So then we added that code to her goal. So we chose specific words. Balance resonated with her, and the vision. And then she saw herself like Grace Kelly. Okay, there's an image. Now she has an idea of a character who existed, whose name was Grace Kelly, who walked with a certain essence and, whatever you want to call it. And that resonated with Terry. So she wanted to become that. She wanted to have that experience. So that's all we are, is we're a human becoming machine and a human experience machine. What kind of becoming do you want to become? And what kind of experience do you want to have? So once you get the goal right, so I don't really usually, in care path with patients, I don't start care until we have a goal. Because if not, where's the care going? It's like buying a bunch of groceries. I keep buying, meat and chicken and fish and what do you want to create? I don't know. I just want to buy ingredients. Well, let's start planning our dinners for the week. So now we have outcomes of it could be a gourmet meal, or it could be just a plain meal. That's fine with me. However you want to create it is up to you, but let's create the outcome. So if you don't have a clear, distinct outcome, a lot of people are just adding more shit to their life, and since there's no place for it to go, once you grab stuff, it doesn't go anywhere. So it's busyness, and a lot of people are just busy, just doing shit, and they have no goal. But once you have a clear, concise goal, it's framed in the right language. So what you can do for yourself personally, if you don't hire me individually, is you start to write down, don't judge what you're saying to yourself. What's my goal? And the sad thing is most people don't have a goal. No goal, no outcome. no direction, you're lost. And you're going to be unhappy about that. See, what creates joy in someone's life is actually to have a destination. Once you have a destination, you have hope. Because you have a hope of a new beginning. You have a hope of a new life for yourself. So all these things are very important. The cool thing is this. The greatest gift God gave us is that we can always create something new for ourselves at any time and any place. Just create again, man. And that's what Edison did. Light bulb. Didn't work. Create again. Create again. Create again. Try again. But if you look at your language code and you start writing it down, and you'll find out what you're saying to yourself, the code you're running in your brain, is you're like this. You're killing it. Your goal's the opposite. You cannot not be something. I don't want to hurt. Your brain will create hurt. I don't make the rules here. I can just tell you how the brain works. A better goal that you code you're going to run in your brain is, I want to feel fantastic. And then you have to define what that means. You just can't give me lip service. And the feeling needs to come up next. If you don't, I want to feel fantastic. What? You only understand the word by the feeling. I want to ride a bike. Well, you only understand riding the bike by the experience of the bike. It has a feeling to it. So once you understand the feeling, boom, the brain like, shoo, it'll get you there fast with the code, with the image. You start practicing this game here of goal setting with imagery, with feeling. You can't just use the words, I want to feel good. What's missing for me in the conversation is your emotions. See, it's the energy motion that moves your ass, that puts the fuel in the car and goes, boom, I am going to feel good. If you just say, I want to feel good, that's flat. There's no emotion here, and there's no feeling. So you have the imagery, you have the right words, but without the emotion. See, if you don't know what feel good means, then you don't know how to get to feel good. You're just running your mouth, blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to play your violin again. What's missing is the feeling. So sometimes what I do is take people and say, do you remember a time when you did feel good? Go back there and sit with it. So I get them in touch with the feeling again because they forgot what feeling good means. They know how to use the word, but they forgot what feeling good means by the emotion. And most people have lost touch with their emotions, so they can't get back to where they want to be because they don't know when they put their good feelings. It's been so long since they touched them, tasted them, felt them, and smelt them that they're just lost. So we can do the imagery, we can do the words, but if you don't have the feelings, it doesn't matter. So what I did, if you watched the videos yesterday, is had Terry keep sitting back with the feeling of joy. And I had her connect with the feeling, and connect with the feeling, connect with the feeling, so she remembers where she put that feeling. And then I took her to take the feeling, connect it to the image, and then put in the language, boom, and I connected it all together, and her brain goes, whoop. I got the destination. I now can GPS pinpoint that. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. I know what it sounds like. And now I have an imagery and a story of Grace Kelly, which really brings it together. If you master all those and practice this game for yourself all the time, you'll watch magic happen in your life. You could do it in relationships. You could do it in your gym fitness program. You could do it in your weight loss thing. And I usually have certain things. I usually don't let people do weight loss. I have them do like creating ultimate health, because you get the weight loss, you get the feeling good, you get everything. So it's a simpler goal without having to be so detail oriented. So it's Dr. Wood, and hope this video helps you. And you do have a miracle making machine in your life called your brain, your subconscious mind. And I am here to share with you guys how to start using it for yourself. And nobody in school ever taught us this. And if you ever taught this, you can create magic. And you will be the happiest person alive, because you have purpose and you have wake up with hope, joy, because you can play this magic game of turning on your computer and running your goal setting machine, this destination machine, and then you just got to listen to whatever comes in. Don't judge what comes into your mind of what it tells you to do. Just do it and try it and see if it works for you. Hope this helps you. Dr. Wood.